Self-belief is the beginning of every transformation, because nothing in your outer world will shift until something inside you decides to change. You can read all the books, listen to all the motivational speeches, seek advice from the whole world, but if you do not believe in your own ability to rise, nothing will move. The world reflects the strength you carry within yourself. When you doubt your worth, life shrinks. When you trust your power, life expands. And this is why I want you to pause and ask yourself, do I truly believe I am capable? Because if the answer is yes, even whispered softly, then that tiny spark is enough to ignite the entire journey. Most people fail not because they lack talent, opportunity, or resources, but because they lack the courage to believe in their own possibilities. They wait for permission, for approval, for someone to say, you can do it. But success begins the moment you give yourself that permission. The moment you look into the mirror and say, I deserve better. I can become more. I am enough. That one decision, that single shift in mindset, becomes the force that drives every step forward. Self-belief is not arrogance, it is acceptance of your worth. It is the quiet confidence that says, I may not know how, but I will learn. I may not have everything now, but I will build it. When life knocks you down, your belief lifts you. When people doubt you, your belief protects you. When fear whispers you're not ready, your belief responds with courage. And the day you trust your inner strength more than your outer circumstances, that is the day life opens doors you never even knew existed. Your challenges are not the walls stopping you, they are the quiet teachers shaping you into the person you are meant to become. Too often we look at difficulties and immediately think, why me? Why now? But the truth is, every struggle you face carries a hidden strength, a lesson that cannot be learned in comfort. When life puts weight on your shoulders, it is not to break you, but to build your muscles of resilience, patience, and courage. Think about it. Diamonds are formed under pressure. Seeds rise only after being buried, and the strongest people you admire have walked through storms you never saw. So why should you fear your challenges when they are actually preparing you for a greatness that comfort could never offer? Instead of running from problems, stand still and listen. Listen to what the challenge is trying to teach you. Maybe it is teaching patience. Maybe it is teaching emotional strength. Maybe it is teaching you to let go of things that no longer serve you. Whatever it is, know that nothing coming your way is random. Every hardship is sculpting you, carving out the weak parts, revealing the strength you forgot you had. When situations feel heavy, remind yourself that you are being stretched to grow, not to collapse. When people disappoint you, remind yourself that life is clearing space for those who will uplift you. When you fail, remind yourself that failure is simply redirection, not rejection. And when you feel alone, remember that some journeys require solitude so you can hear your own inner voice. Challenges test you, but they also transform you. They take the uncertain version of you and turn you into someone unshakable. Someone who rises not because life is easy, but because you have learned how to stand strong even in the storm. Consistency beats talent, because dreams don't come true from inspiration alone. They come true from discipline, repetition, and the courage to show up, even when you don't feel like it. You can be the most gifted person in the room. You can have extraordinary ideas and incredible potential, but if you only act when you feel motivated, you will never reach the height of what you're capable of. Success is not built in sudden bursts of energy. It's built in the quiet, unseen hours when you keep pushing, keep learning, keep practicing, even when no one is clapping for you. This is where real transformation happens. People often admire the results but forget the thousands of small steps taken behind the scenes. They see the confidence, but they don't see the days of self-doubt. They see the achievement, but they don't see the nights of hard work. Consistency is the bridge that connects where you are to where you want to be. And the beautiful truth is that you don't have to take giant leaps every day. Small, steady steps are enough, as long as you take them again and again. And yes, some days will be slow, some days will be frustrating, and some days you will question everything you're doing. But those are the exact moments that define your character. That is when you must remind yourself that progress is progress, even if it is just 1 inch forward. Keep showing up. Keep giving your best, even if your best looks different on different days. Because while talent may open doors, consistency is what keeps them open. It's what sharpens your skills, strengthens your mindset, and builds the kind of inner discipline that success requires. The world doesn't need perfect people. It needs persistent people. Those who choose to continue, those who choose not to quit, those who decide every single day that their dreams deserve their effort. You become the average of the people and environments you surround yourself with. And this is why choosing wisely matters more than you think. Too often, we underestimate the subtle influence of our surroundings, thinking that motivation will always come from within. But let me tell you, even the strongest self-belief can be weakened by negativity, doubt, and the constant pull of toxic environments. If you are constantly around people who criticize, complain, or discourage, you will slowly start to adopt their mindset, their fears, their limitations. On the other hand, when you surround yourself with those who uplift, challenge, and inspire you, your potential begins to expand beyond what you thought possible. Your habits, your thoughts, your energy, they are all shaped by what you feed them. If you spend your days in cluttered, stagnant spaces, your mind will feel cluttered and stagnant. If you spend your time with dreamers, doers, and believers, your mind will open to possibilities you never imagined. And this doesn't just apply to people, it applies to the books you read, the media you consume, the conversations you entertain. Every choice is a building block. Every influence either strengthens or weakens the foundation of who you are becoming. If you want growth, you must curate your environment. Choose people who see your potential before you do. Choose habits that nourish your mind, body, and soul. Choose challenges that stretch you rather than excuses that hold you back. Because the truth is, the world outside will always throw distractions, doubts, and negative energy at you. But if you have created a strong, empowering environment for yourself, those external forces lose their power. Your surroundings can either be the cage that limits you or the launch pad that propels you to heights you never thought possible. And the moment you realize that your growth is in your own hands. Failures are not the end of your story. They are the turning points, the teachers, and sometimes the greatest blessings in disguise. Too often, we see failure as a verdict, as proof that we are not enough, that we cannot achieve our dreams, that the world is against us. But the truth is, failure is neutral. It is life's way of showing you what doesn't work, so you can discover what does. Every successful person you admire has failed more times than you can count. They fell, stumbled, lost, and yet they refused to quit. Because they understood a simple truth: failure is feedback. It is information, not condemnation. When you fail, it is not about losing. It is about learning. It is not about weakness. It is about growth. And the sooner you embrace this mindset, the sooner you unlock your own power. Do not run from mistakes. Do not hide from errors. Do not let shame stop you from moving forward. Each failure carries a lesson, a hidden seed of wisdom, a clue to guide your next step. The fear of failure is what keeps most people trapped in mediocrity. But courage is what transforms failure into opportunity. When you fail, ask yourself, what can I learn? How can I improve? Where is the lesson in this? That shift in perspective changes everything. You begin to see setbacks not as enemies but as allies, not as obstacles but as stepping stones. And when you persist through failure, when you keep trying, experimenting, adjusting, and believing in yourself, you become unstoppable. The road may be rocky, the path unclear, but every misstep is shaping the person who will eventually stand victorious. Because success is not about never falling. It is about rising stronger, wiser, and more determined every single time you do. Your life will never change until you take full responsibility for it. And this is where most people get stuck. We look for excuses, blame circumstances, point fingers at others. and wait for someone or something to fix our problems. But the moment you stop blaming and start owning your actions, thoughts, and choices, that is the exact moment true transformation begins. Responsibility is not a burden, it is the key to freedom. When you take ownership, you stop being a victim of your circumstances and start being the creator of your reality. It is easy to complain when things don't go your way, but courage is in acknowledging that you have the power to change your situation. Life will throw challenges, unfairness, and obstacles at you, but your response to those moments is entirely within your control. You may not control what happens to you, but you absolutely control how you react. And that reaction shapes everything: your mindset, your actions, and ultimately your results. When you stop waiting for permission to live your life fully, when you stop relying on others to make your dreams possible, you step into your power. Responsibility is not just about work or achievements. It is about emotional ownership too. It is about admitting when you were wrong, forgiving yourself when you fail, learning when you make mistakes, and choosing growth over comfort. Every choice you make, every thought you entertain, every action you take is a reflection of the life you are creating. When you embrace this truth, you begin to see that excuses shrink and possibilities expand. You begin to act intentionally, speak thoughtfully, and live consciously. You no longer wait for circumstances to be perfect because you realize that your life transforms not because the world changes, but because you choose to rise, to act, and to own it completely.